I feel as if I owe it to myself to do a bunch of stuff that I love to do. So let's get started. You joined me on my final week in Berlin before I leave for 3 weeks, and I feel like I owe it to myself to do a bunch of stuff that I love doing, going to all of the shops that I love to go to, eating the foods that I really enjoy eating, doing the things that bring me happiness, being places that bring me joy. So we're going to get started in a very strange way by shopping the stash that I already have. Because I am flying in about a week's time, I have the intention of looking into my fridge, my freezer, my cupboards, and cooking what's in there. Disclaimer, I did do a shop on Saturday, so I am a little bit more stocked up than what I would usually be, but I am only intending to cook what is in the house for this week. That is separate to the 2 days that I am already away. Tuesday is date night, and Thursday I have a team event at work, so I will be fed as part of that. But for the other days that I am here in my house at home, I fully intend to stand in front of that cooker and cook something. Tonight was kind of an obvious one. I've got some chicken that needs to be cooked up, so I'm going to make some kind of Thai, Vietnamese, that area of Asia inspired thing. I've also got some prawn crackers and I've got some rice crackers that I just feel like will tie together really well as a side dish. I'm also going to need to read something because I don't necessarily like traveling with physical books, but my next read is a physical book. So I have got one entire week to read the 382 pages of Dream On, Ramona Riley. I'm intrigued about this, but I'm also a little bit apprehensive. I have loved the Bright France trilogy. I absolutely adored all 3 of those books, but Make This Season Bright did absolutely 0 for me. However, this is a brand new leaf, it is a brand new book, and I am hoping that Ashley Herring-Blake is going to bring me back on track. This is a small town romance. It is about a young girl who hasn't really done anything with her life. She was in love with a girl called Dylan when she was in high school. But now, Dylan is back in their hometown and is starring in an upcoming movie as a coffee shop worker. And because Ramona works in the local coffee shop, Dylan is kind of sent to moonlight her while she's on set. I'm intrigued to see how this one is going to go. Let's just see how we get on. Today is date night, and I have the pleasure of choosing what it is that we do today. I am going to go with exactly what you would expect from somebody like me to choose. I'm going to go with visiting a bookshop and a cafe. I have heard that Dussmann, the really big kind of cultural hub in Berlin, which has an English bookshop in it, has also just had a cafe open inside in it. And from 5 o'clock, that turns into a cocktails bar. Now, I don't think we're going to want to go for cocktails. I think we're going to aim more for like a coffee kind of a situation and then go for dinner somewhere. I haven't decided where it is that we're going to go for dinner. But I am pretty sure that if I go to Dussmann, I'm going to come back with a bunch of books that I don't necessarily need, but that I do want. That is the aim of the game for today. I really want to go and check out this new cafe in Dussmann that I have heard so many great things about, and I've had people who've gone to it and who've really loved it, and I still haven't gone. I think it's been open for about 6 weeks by this stage, definitely since the end of July. So now it's time to go and check it out. I think one would have to put that down as a rather successful date night. We went and checked out the new cafe, which is stunning. I wasn't expecting there to be such really big floor to ceiling windows because the rest of the bookshop can be quite dark, doesn't really have a whole lot of windows and a whole lot of natural light. So I wasn't particularly expecting there to be so much natural light as there was. But it was such a nice and open and airy and welcoming space. I feel like it's the perfect place for you to go, check out the books, peruse the shelves, and then grab a coffee, grab some cake, and sit down and start into what it is that you've just bought. Speaking of just bought, I did, of course, go shopping because you can't go to a bookshop and come out with your hands hanging. So I got 2 Freedom McFadden books. I got The Tenant and I got One by One. This one is a bit shorter. I think it's almost a novella. It's something like 234 pages. I'm interested by it. I know that Ruth Ware has got a book of a similar name or exactly the same name. So I wonder, is this a kind of a rose by any other name would still smell as sweet, or something like that, as a kind of a which One by One does it better? We'll see how that goes. And I also picked up The Tenant. And I know that this one is super popular. I've seen so many people have talked about this. And I want to dive headfirst into my Freedom McFadden era. I've read one book of hers already. I have also got The Housemaid on my TBR for October. I just feel that October is the best time for reading a thriller because it's dark, it's gloomy, it's like 5 degrees outside, you're wrapped up under a blanket, you've got a warm drink, and you've got a thriller in your hands, and it's so perfectly atmospheric reading. That is something that I absolutely adore. Then we went and got an Indian. We have this restaurant in Berlin that we really like for Indian food. We went there. They knew exactly who we were. We barely even had to order. They just brought out pretty much exactly what we have every single time. And it was just a nice little way to have our nice date night in Berlin before we head away for 3 weeks. Welcome to the kitchen. Welcome to day 3 of only eating what's inside in the fridge. I'm not even going to show you what's in the fridge. It's an absolute nightmare. But I have some ideas. I have some suggestions. First, remember the Thai thing we made on Monday? We've got the leftovers of that. So I think that that might be a good evening option. But I think for lunch, instead, I'm going to make this. I really enjoy these kind of potato-based tortilla things that they have in Lidl sometimes in like their Spanish week options. This is one of my favorite ones. It is a potato tortilla, but it also has little bits of chorizo stuck inside in it. And I think this, maybe with like some tomato relish, I think that's a really good call. And then we just need to worry about what to do for the rest of the day. Stretch. It's Saturday morning and I am really running out of time to get everything done. I have got sprints with Neva for her 24-hour sprints in about 5 minutes. I have got so much that still needs to be packed into my suitcase that I don't know if I can get it in because I really think I'm getting close to the 20 kilo limit. I also have 2 videos for my channel that I still need to do, but I also have a little project. I am on page 66 of this, and if I want to include this into my August wrap-up, I want to be a little bit closer to the end. Now, I don't think I'm going to get to the 300 and something by the time that these sprints are finished in 4 hours, because I've got so much to do. But I'm going to try and get there a little bit closer. If I can get to maybe 150 to 200, I'll put in as much as I can for it. I have got so much that I need to do. I don't have a whole lot of time in which to do it. So let's get started. on a little trip for the evening. One of my friends, Charlotte, and her son went to a Titanic exhibition in Manchester a couple of weeks ago. They were given 2 of the official guide for the exhibits and asked if I, a Titanic girly, wanted one. I said if they were like willing to send it to me, then fine, go ahead. It arrived today. In the bag, I have got a Titanic exhibition bookmark with the Titanic on it. I've got a sticker with 3 of the funnels, and this. I have got this exhibition kind of guide to it. It's got a couple of facts about the Titanic. It's got like this. It's got some artifacts in there. This is gonna take over the book for my bedtime reading today. Speaking of the book, I am actually having a really great time with Dream On Ramona Riley. Now, when I went into it, the expectations were a little bit lower because, as I said, I had read Make the Season Bright in December and I really didn't gel with it. I just think that a second chance romance is not for me, but also some of the insta-love and some of the storytelling, it just wasn't my vibe. This time, however, I am having a much better time. There does feel like a little bit of a second chance vibe to Ramona and Dylan's relationship, but it also doesn't feel like that because it was so long ago and because it was so fleeting. They only basically kissed each other one night when they were like 14 or 15 years old. So it does feel like a whole other different chapter in their lives, and it does feel like a whole other person. But Ramona gives me big time anxiety. Ramona is very much a mommy issues girl. Her mother abandoned her and her sister when Ramona was about 14 years old. And this has shaped who Ramona is for her entire life, and her world has become quite insular of just Clover Lake, the area where she grew up. I think she went away to Rhode Island for college and then came straight back and didn't even finish her degree as far as I'm aware. Her sister is now about to fly the nest and is heading off to, I think it's Louisiana, for university. I get this kind of feeling of, I wish I had been brave enough to do that. A little tinge of regret, a little tinge of jealousy. I am really loving watching Ramona and Dylan get to know each other once again. I'm really loving watching them get back acquainted with one another. It's very slow burn. It's very much we're figuring out who each other is now. We're figuring out who I am right now. I'm having a great time with this. I am really into the final stretch here, and I am not where I needed to be. It is Sunday. It is the last day of the month, and I am not finished this book enough to actually put it into my August wrap up, which I still need to film. I have squandered quite a lot of the morning, spent a lot of the morning in bed just with coffee, reading a bit more of this, and now I really feel like the heat is on and it's under me to get something done. I've still got quite a lot of laundry to do. I've still got to actually cook something to eat because I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. I've still got to clean up the entire apartment. I've still got some packing that I need to do. And I am nowhere near where I wanted to be. But I have got a time target. At 9:30 this evening, 8:30 back in Ireland, the Traitors Ireland is starting. I am very ready for this. This feels like it's going to be a kind of bookmark of where I need to be in the day. If I have everything done by 9:30 this evening, I can sit down and watch The Traitors. If I have everything that I need to do ready, if I have every box ticked, I can sit down, watch The Traitors, and I don't need to worry about anything that's happening. I just need to actually get everything done. So first things first, I have got my filming set up. I need to start filming my August wrap up. I need to start cooking. I need to start cleaning out the fridge. And if I have some time, I'm going to get a little bit further with Ramona Riley. I did it! Kind of. I managed to get in a shower. I have got my case entirely packed. I have maybe 1.5 kilos of extra room, I think, as my scales have said, that might play out in my favor, but I cannot think of a single thing more that I need to pack. I read a little bit more of Ramona Riley. I have got every single video that I need to do for September done, and we are into the ads right there before we go to the traders. I feel like this has been a mainly successful final week in Berlin. I'm not quite finished with the book, even though I spent an entire week reading it, but I have got maybe about halfway through, and hopefully by tomorrow and Tuesday, by the time I have to leave for the airport, I can actually finish it, get it done, and get out the door. What are your September plans? Have you got somewhere that you need to be, or are you going to be staying at home and doing a lot of reading? If you would love to leave me a comment but you can't think of anything you'd like to say, then just leave me a plain emoji. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.